Hello, my name is Joaquin Costa. Are you Mrs. Bleux? I'm here for the appointment we made yesterday.
Yeah, I know. Come on in.
Thank you. And thank you again for agreeing to meet with me.
Yeah, I told Miles that we were meeting with you today. I am so sorry about the mess. I've been studying for a final and Miles is late. Please, have a seat.
Thank you very much.
I just made coffee. Would you like some?
Oh, coffee would be nice. Thank you very much.
I can never depend on Miles to be on time. He works late most days and I just never know what time he'll be home.
Oh, I was hoping to meet with both of you. Do you think you can give him a call and see when he will be here?
Well, I can try, but usually he's out in the field with customers most afternoons, so. But let me see if I can get him to text me back. Here's your coffee.
Thank you.
Can never depend on him to be on time. And he never does anything around here to help. Didn't even put his dishes in the sink this morning or fold the laundry. I'm not his maid, you know. Oh, speaking of the devil, here he comes now.
Hey. Miles Blue.
Nice meeting you.
Sorry, traffic made me late. I was racing back here.
I know.
Great, thanks. And I'm also just noticing that I didn't do any chores around here that I was supposed to do. Sorry, honey. If you don't mind, I'm gonna fold some laundry while we chat.
Oh, that's all right.
Thanks for understanding. So, you're here to help us get our son back, right?
Well, first, let me introduce myself. My name is Joaquin Costa. I am your son's CASA volunteer. I'm sure you're ready to have him back home.
Yeah, of course we are. I mean, we're not bad parents. And everybody just thinks we're stupid because we're young. Look, I'm a full-time student trying to get my degree, and Miles works like 60 hours a week. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, but apparently we're the only ones that have to suffer for hours.
Being new parents is a new adjustment, eh?
No kidding. It completely turned our lives upside down.
Have anyone explained to you what my role is?
Yeah, the caseworker said that you will be representing Deshawn in court, right? And you're gonna make sure that you get our son back.
I'm glad you have heard about what we do. I agree, families need to be together as long as children are safe and have what they need. Now, let me clarify a bit. My role as Deshawn's advocate is to represent his best interest, to advocate for what is best for him. And for that, I'm going to need to know more about him from you, so I get something to think about when I go and visit him. For example, what is he like? I know he's little, but babies have their way of showing us what they want.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's a baby, so it's in his best interest to be home. But I do understand that the hospital people are mandated reporters. I really don't understand why they took him away from us. We made a mistake. And now they want us to do all of the stuff that we clearly don't have time for. I mean, they should just give him back and leave us the hell alone.
Yeah, they're acting like we beat him or something. He broke his leg, so they take him from us? We love our son. It was an accident. It could have happened to anybody. We can't sleep over this. I can't risk losing my job. And she has to finish school. This is crazy.
This must be pretty hard for you right now. I can see why you're upset.
You have no idea, believe me. I mean, I did what I thought was right. I mean, what was I supposed to do? God, this whole incident just keeps replaying in my mind. I was so scared. God, I didn't know what to do. So I looked it up online and it said that if your baby doesn't show any visible sign of an injury, then it should be sufficient to just monitor him closely, just in case if anything has changed. And I did that. And after an hour, he was fine. And I even rubbed lotion on the tiny little bump that appeared on his leg. You know, and no one has the right to judge us. I mean, I knew if we took him to the hospital, we would be stuck with a huge bill. And I didn't know how much the insurance covered for an ER visit. You know, and everybody's just making a huge deal out of this just because that stupid daycare worker hates me. God, you know what? I bet she even did something to Deshawn that aggravated his injury.
Would you mind telling me a little bit more about Deshaun.
Yeah. Actually, do you mind if I show you his room?
That would be perfect.
He's amazing, isn't he? And he's so sweet. He has a little temper, too. When he gets fussy and angry, kind of looks like Miles.
He eventually calms down.
And he eats really well. And at least now, he falls asleep for the whole entire night. When he was younger, he used to have a really hard time falling asleep. He had to be rocked or walked, and we never got any sleep.
Thank God your mom and sister were visiting here to help.
Yeah, my mom always knew exactly what to do.
That's wonderful that your mom and sister were here to help. What are they now? I hope they're close so they still can get to see you and him.
Yeah, they live about like an hour's drive away, longer with traffic, so they can't always be here all the time.
It was crowded when they were here, but it was nice having them. Her mom did almost all the cooking and cleaning and took care of Deshaun whenever we had stuff that we had to do.
It sounds like they were really helpful and that you both miss them. And Deshaun, of course. When was the last time you got to see him?
Well, we saw him on Tuesday of this week, and we're supposed to see him at least a couple times a week. But so far, we've only had one visit. And apparently, the social worker can't be there more than once. It's just crazy.
Tell me, how did that visit go?
It was heartbreaking. His foster dads acted like Deshaun was their kid.
Look, I don't care if they're gay. That's their business. But he's not their kid. I mean, come on. I can't believe that they think these two strangers are more capable of taking care of Deshaun than his own parents.
You know, none of this would have happened if you had bothered to come home like you were supposed to.
No, none of this would have happened if you bothered to be more careful with my son.
Excuse me? He's my son too. I mean, I gave birth to him. And besides, I was gone for like an hour. And maybe if you were ever here, you would realize we were out of formula and diapers for our son. You know what? Deshaun was asleep. And you would have known that too if you had bothered to come home like you were supposed to.
You think I'm killing myself at work for kicks while you sit around here and read?
You see what I'm saying? Everybody blames me.
It's clear this is really painful to you both. Would you mind if I share with you a couple of things that I have seen since I got here? Please. I see two people who work very hard. Miles, you work hard to put food on the table, and Tony, you're working hard to finish your degree. And you both miss and love your baby. Also, your family that was providing for a lot of support has moved away. And in addition to everything else, you now have to fill up all those requirements. I mean, it's not gonna be easy, but I bet that you both agree that Deshaun is worth it. Now, tell me more about Deshaun. How did he get his name?
Miles' uncle. He was like a father to Miles. And even though he worked like 3 jobs a week, he still would do anything just to help us.
He loved you like a daughter. He died a couple years ago. So we agreed that if we had a boy, that's what we name him.
Sounds like you both loved him very much. And he loved you too. Okay, how about we go over the services plan? I'd like to know where you are with each of these steps. And let's talk about if you have any problem fulfilling those requirements. Oh, and I want to make a note about advocating for you to increase those visits to Deshaun. That's very important to Deshaun. I'd also like to know, how are you doing with your school and work situation?
Yeah, I only had like 1 year left to my degree when I first got pregnant. So I had to take a lot of time off, and now I'm just trying to catch up. And I've been doing as many classes as I can online, and I only have about 3/4 left until I finish. But this whole thing has really tripped us up, and I have a bunch of makeup stuff to do right now. And also, I was still nursing Deshaun when they first took him away from us. And I've been trying to pump milk and stay productive, but it's just not going very well. And if I only see him like once a week, then he loses interest. And I'm losing sleep over this, so the more visits would really, really help.
We'll do whatever it takes to get him back. But tell us, if we follow their plan, how long will it be? The only problem that we see with showing up to all these meetings and showing up for training on parenting and anger stuff is that it's taking our time. But we don't know if that's what will bring our baby back home to us.
I hear it is very frustrating to follow this service plan, and timing depends on a lot of things. But following the service plan is the most important way for you to show that you're trying. And since you are trying to reunify and have Deshaun back at home, the service plan is your roadmap. How's your scheduling at work? Do you think that you can do what is required? I mean, if you have any questions, please let us know about it, especially to your lawyer.
I can do it, but I want to keep my job. I'm in sales, so my pay depends on how I can deliver. If I don't get the quota, I don't get kept on. How's that gonna help Deshaun? Or us?
That makes a ton of sense. Miles, how is your schedule doing? Can you do what is required?
I may have to switch my days off. I mean, I can only get so much time off during the weekday.
Yes, this is a lot for both of you, given your work and school situation. And I can see that, and I can see how hard you're trying. Tony, I can ask that you get more visits with Deshaun. And Miles, you're going to arrange your work day so that you can fulfill the requirements. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yeah, of course. We'll make sure that works.
Good. So how about we meet again before your next court appearance and see how things are going?
Sure.
Would you like just to get your schedules and try to find out